afternoon, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the NAACP Chicago Westside branch, our podcast called Poetic Just Us. I am your host, Jamesia Banks.
And I'm Tara Levy.
Yes, and let me just give you guys our information. We are the Chicago Westside branch NAACP. We are located at 5820 West Chicago Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60651. If you would like to contact us, our phone number is 773-261-5890. And if you guys would like to come join us, we have a meeting every first Saturday of the month, our general body meeting.
So this coming Saturday at Sankofa at 5820 West Chicago Avenue at 1 p.m. You can catch us for our general body meeting.
Definitely. Today we are just going to be doing a continuation off of our last topic last Friday, which was historically black colleges and universities. Mm-hmm. So we just want to reiterate how important HBCUs are and why is it important for us to continue with the legacy of it. Mm-hmm. So historically black colleges and universities are first-rate education schools. They offer world-class education. Top schools in the United States are schools such as Morehouse, Spelman, Hampton University, and Howard University. So choosing an HBCU, it would definitely be a great mark on your resume because it is a top-notch school. Also, choosing HBCU as a person of color, you will have more professors and faculty that can relate to your situation. The atmosphere may be more relatable or more tolerable because you have faculty that look like you, that talk like you, that can understand your background, which can be very different from Chicago public schools education. So that is definitely a plus. Also, HBCUs have classes and extracurricular activities that are like specifically tailored to people of color, such as the Major Red Team, band, the Divine Nine, even though the Divine Nine is at different locations, but it's, they have their certain culture at HBCU. Even African American Studies. These are just stuff that are perks of attending these type of colleges and universities. Also, HBCU is open to all people. It is not strictly for black people, so you will entertain and be around people of a diverse culture. So it's not just all black people, as a misconception has been said. Mm-hmm. And what's most important is that being a person of color and going to a HBCU, you feel a sense of empowerment. You feel a sense of legacy, like you are coming somewhere to finish what someone else has started for you specifically. So it makes you feel like you are a part of something bigger than the normal. So how do we have students find out about HBCUs? We want to promote HBCU college tours. You can set up one as early as you want to. More commonly, they are for high school students. You send them through programs with your church, or you can send them through programs with any Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, or any community activities.
Yeah, I remember my junior year of high school, I went on an HBCU tour. And while I did not attend an HBCU, but I still get a lot of exposure to it. Like I went to Howard, Morgan State, Hampton, Norfolk State University, and just meeting with those students there on campus, meeting with the professors, it was definitely a great experience, something I remember 10 years later. So I definitely promote gaining exposure to our young people, educating them on the power and the significance of attending HBCUs. And even if you don't, neither one of us actually attended HBCUs. However, promoting black culture wherever you are. If you're at a PWI, a predominantly white institution, find your niche, find your community within that institution. And that's how I feel like we'll actually sustain our student there. If you can find your community, if you can find someone that looks like you and you find home in that institution, then you're more than likely to stay there and actually graduate.
Definitely. And saying that, Before you went to a HBCU tour, what were your reservations about it? And then how about after you came from it? How did you feel?
Well, I was 16, so my mindset of how I am now and how I was at 16 is completely different. I attended a predominantly black school, and I was like, well, it's probably going to be pretty much the same experience because I'll go to a black high school. I'm probably just going to have the same experience as a black college. Not knowing the history, not knowing the legacy, as you mentioned, of having HBCU. So if I could have done it all over again, I perhaps probably would have chosen the HBCU just because of the network that you get from the alumni group. I attended the University of Missouri, but we have a great black alumni network. However, like one of my line sisters, she went to Howard, and still today, like 5 years after she graduated, she's still heavily involved with Howard. She's heavily involved with the current students as well as the alumni. And I kind of like, I'm living through her HBCU experience. So again, I promote attending HBCUs. I think they're definitely needed. They need the funding, they need the support for them to still be sustainable 100 years later down the road. But at the same time, if it's not an option for some students, for some people who are of color and do want to attend, make that community. Because I went to a PWI, but Mizzou itself was like a mini HBCU within the campus. So I think it's still possible to have a great experience, to embrace your culture, whether you choose to go to a HBCU or a PWI.
Going to a college tour, did that inspire you to go to college? Did it make you like really excited?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm blessed to come from a family where education was always stressed. Like I knew in 7th grade that I was going to college. Like, that was just the next step after high school. Some of our up-and-coming students, we both are educators. Some of our students don't see college as being a possible option for them because they don't see it in their everyday life. They don't see it in their family. They'll be the first one to go to college. So definitely gaining exposure for those students who have never seen what a college student looks like, who've never seen a college graduate. Mm-hmm. Giving them that experience, that education of like, you know what? I can do it, so it's possible. You yourself can also do it.
Definitely.
Because it's one thing to read about it. It's one thing to hear about, but to actually see and meet people on these college campuses can be life-changing for a lot of our people.
Definitely, and being life-changing with the opportunities and experiences. And I'm glad that you said a lot of students don't even know how to go about filling out applications. Mm-hmm. So the first step I would like for students to know is to take a college tour. You guys can go to hbculifestyle.com. You can find information on local HBCUs around you or some that you are interested in viewing. You guys can also contact the email or the website blackcollegetours.org, and that is blackcollegetours.org. Their number is 310-215-9522, and this website specifically is designated for you to go on a tour for HBCU colleges. And what is college? Is college free, or is everyone just saying like, let's go to college and graduate? All right.
There are a lot of places outside of the U.S. in which college extended into like the university level is public. It is paid for. Unfortunately, most institutions here are not free. However, there are scholarships, there are grants. If possible, stay as far away from student loans. We had this discussion earlier about loans. Like loans are like something that's always going to hang over you until you pay them off. And to me, that's like another form of like bondage. Like you constantly have something held over your head. You could be 10 years down the road after you graduated from college and you still have all these loans to deal with. And who wants that?
Exactly.
That's why I stress to all of my students, if you're a freshman, if you're a sophomore, it's never too early to look into scholarships.
And what are scholarships? So scholarships are payments made to support a student's education on the basis of academic or other achievement. They are also based upon various criteria, which usually reflect the values of the donor or the person that's funding it, and they are not required to be repaid.
Don't have to pay it back, okay?
And where do we have
with a caller?
Yes.
Hello.
Good evening, ladies. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
All right. About in 2010, 60 Minutes did a piece on black universities. There was a time where that was the only place, if you want to get a quality education, that's is where you had to go. How do you feel? I hope you was able to see, maybe you looked it up online. Like I said, 60 Minutes did a piece on white students attending historical black college where they are given a full scholarship to go in such fields like engineering, medicine, and law, and they don't have to worry about paying no student loans or anything like that. And these universities were designed to help students to go in a certain type of discipline, but yet these white students are going to historical black colleges and getting a free ride.
Okay, so we do live in a world now where everyone has to work together, go to school together. It can be quite disappointing that people have worked so hard, black people have worked so hard, especially to open up their own colleges, and then other students that are not black are coming to the colleges to attend them. But that is not that's not really a necessary point in a black student attending this college, because black students are going there because this is going to be an HBCU. So even if white students go there, it won't change the atmosphere, it won't change the culture, it won't change what has been designed for us. So if the question is, how do I feel about white people going to a HBCU, it's neither here nor there, because we are focused on the black youth having a positive experience at HBCU.
I think he was leaning more towards the fact that there are white students who are getting scholarship to attend HBCUs versus students who are black and they're not getting funding. I consider it with most of any other schools. Like, I went to University of Missouri, and one of the contributing factors that made me decide to go to University of Missouri was the financial aid package. Mm-hmm. They wanted to amp up their black student population. What do? They give black students money to attend their university. Some of my white counterparts did not get that money. I think the same regards for Howard or other HBCUs.
Right.
If they know that their main demographic are black people, it's black people, they want to make it seem like it is an HBCU, but we're actually pretty diverse. Them providing additional funding to white people or people who aren't of African diaspora, they may have to, I don't know, like maybe bribe them with their money or encourage them to attend their university with some money. So, like, I am not opposed to that, because HBCUs also offer black people scholarships as well.
Exactly. If
they have to amp up their scholarships to non-black people just to encourage some diversity, I don't feel like that's a big of an issue, because PWIs do it pretty much all the time when their demographics and their diversity pool is low.
Agreed. So I definitely feel that way. I don't feel like it's neither here nor there, and really we can't blame anyone, because it's affirmative action, and it's what the United States, the game that is to be played. So yes. But scholarships are payments that are not required to be repaid back. So these are the best options for students if you're looking for school, to pay for school, is try to find scholarships. And scholarships are out there, and they are tailor-made specifically for you. They have scholarships based on how tall you are, or if you can swim. Exactly. They have scholarships for anything. So the earlier you look for scholarships, the better your experience will be.
And reach out to your networks. We mentioned the Divine Nine. When I was a freshman in college, I received the scholarships from the men of Omega Psi Phi. Like, they offered me scholarship money. A couple of my friends got scholarships from other fraternities and sororities. So, like, there is money out there. You just have to be very intentional about your research.
Definitely.
Because my goal is for black people to go to college and not have to pay for it.
Exactly.
Because you'll be enslaved in other ways by paying those student loans. And who wants to do that?
Exactly.
Who wants to be 45, still paying loans, and you get denied of, I don't know, a house because you're in bad credit because of your loans are sky high? We don't want that.
So what really are student loans? So student loans is a type of grant provided by financial aid from the government. And these are exclusively to students attending post-secondary educational in the United States. So you have to go to a school in the United States. And these loans that you take out must be repaid with interest. So you have to take out the loan and you have to pay it back with interest. Do we have a caller?
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, you were talking about scholarships and you mentioned grants, but the grants I think I found to be really interesting because I can remember back in the 70s, I guess there were grants that were made available to medical students who wanted to become doctors, and tuitions that they had to pay were paid by grants, but they were all forgiven if the doctors went to come and work in a disadvantaged community. Like I, for instance, was from Cabrini Green, and we had a couple of clinics that were connected with Northwestern, but they would have these doctors come and spend a considerable amount of time in these clinics, and at the end of maybe, I don't know how, maybe 10 years, and all of that debt was erased, and they could go on to, pursue whatever medical interest they had and be debt free. And that's just kind of typical of some of the other grants for other occupations, And they didn't, I don't know if they were necessarily ever connected with historical black universities or colleges, but I think that you would think that, well, you had some colleges like Fisk and Meharry, those were medical colleges. So I assume that those colleges may have been connected. But,
Yes.
grants are very, if you can find, and nowadays you have Mac Corps, Job Corps,
Yep.
this,
I will touch on that too.
Yes. So yeah, we're definitely getting upon and explaining about grants, and he's definitely moved us forward. Let's explain what grants are. Did you want to mention another
Also,
point?
you mentioned AmeriCorps. I did AmeriCorps for 2 years. And during that time, you're doing like community service work, and you have a stipend. So you don't have a full out, you have an income, but it's not enough to support yourself. So what they do is they have a grant forgiveness for however long you're doing AmeriCorps for. So if you do it for 2 years, your grants will be, your loan forgiveness, student loan forgiveness. So if you have a 2-year program, your loans are going to be on pause for those 2 years. So that gives you some time to try to figure out, what are you going to do with these loans and, what plans you take to make sure you get them paid off. So that there are other ways, as you mentioned, Job Corps, AmeriCorps has great programs. I went to 2 programs. And so there are ways into making sure that you make up some plans to actually pay off these loans.
Definitely. And plans to pay off the loans, we're going to make sure that we make note of how important it is to take out just what you need. Do not take out the maximum in loans.
Don't be balling on student loans.
Exactly.
You got to pay it back, boo.
You got to pay it back with interest.
Yeah.
So there's interest is typically thousands of dollars, because in today's age, school is typically $20,000 to $25,000 a year at colleges. And if you're taking out the maximum in loans without taking out any scholarships, having any grants, you're going to have to repay that back. So it's going to be about 100.
With interest and
yes,
then some.
with interest and then some. So again, scholarships are the way to go.
That's the way to go. If we could say that 15 more times, let it resonate. For those who are watching, if you're somebody's grandma, uncle, nephews, let your children know.
Exactly.
Start now. Start now, because the earlier you apply, the more research you have into it, the more plans that you have to make sure that your son, daughter, granddaughter, grandson is going off to college, the better you'll be.
Exactly.
And we understand that as Black people who have been oppressed systematically, we may not have the money to send our kids off to college. And that's a way of blocking us from being more advanced as a society by having to pay for college. But if you outsmart the tricks that are being played on us and actually take advantage of these scholarships and these resources, we still have that capability of advancing our degrees, advancing our education, and not have to pay for it.
Definitely. And I do want to explain the tad bit on grants. What are grants? So grants are basically they're based exclusively on your financial need determined by your FAFSA. So grants, most of them are typically not required to be repaid, but this is specifically based on your income, your family's income, your FAFSA. So that's how you can qualify for a grant. Scholarships you can definitely apply for. You can look at them as early as you want, like we say today.
Don't wait till senior year.
Exactly.
Because you're going to have senioritis. You're not going to feel like doing it. Don't wait till senior year.
Exactly.
And at the same time, students, I think, are still encouraged to apply to like at least 5 schools. Your dream school may be this wonderful institution in New York or in, I don't know, cool places, LA, somewhere like that.
Or Chicago.
Or Chicago. And you get accepted. But you can't pay for it.
Right.
Your number 4 choice, not as cool, but they offer you more money. Where do you think you should go? You should go to the school that's going to pay you, that is welcoming you to come. Okay? And that's just the truth. Because yes, you want to have your top choice, but college is what you make it. So you can have your time of your life at your number 3 choice and still have a better package, financial aid package. In the long run, you're winning because you don't have to worry about paying those years off.
Exactly.
So think about it. Consider your options.
Definitely.
And also, if there are college advisors at your school, if you know of any resources that are advising students and like helping families fill out the FAFSA, take advantage of those too.
Exactly. And we definitely just want to stress the importance of the historically black colleges and university one more time. It will help you become a stronger person, create a strong sense of person with your people. It helps give you more culture, it helps give you more knowledge, it helps you give more legacy and pride. It can actually help transform you to be that type of person you want to be. Just going out and just being around different black people that are not the same people in your community. A lot of us, city kids, you only see what the TV tells you to be. If the TV is telling you to be these characters on Love and Hip Hop, but you've never seen any black doctors or black lawyers, or especially in this type of environment, on a campus environment, you're seeing people that are aspiring to be these type of people, and they're your age, that look just like you, that can speak and understand what you're saying. It's just a sense of a tight-knit community, which is very important, just so we can feel the word Sankofa, you understand? So thank you guys for listening to us and checking us out, and come back every Friday. We will be here at 6 p.m. Again, we are the Chicago Westside Branch, NAACP. We are located at 5820 West Chicago Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60651. You can contact us at 773-261-5890. And our first meeting is next Saturday.
8/4 at 1 p.m. at Sankofa.
Yes. I'm your host, Jamesia Banks.
And I'm Tara Levy. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes. Have a good night.
All right, bye-bye.